Hey there, seekers of style, knowledge, and all that good stuff. Joe here from Style by Joe with a Style Solution. Now, this video comes as request from one of my viewers. They said, "Hey Joe, can you show us about ironing?" Yeah, I know about ironing. In fact, ironing for me reminds me of my grandmother. My grandmother always used to set up the ironing board in front of the TV and had a Coca-Cola. So I'm going to go over just a brief just a brief way to iron. And let's see if my iron steams, and you can see the steam coming up. It's good. Now I'm trying to get the pointed part of the iron into view because I use that for a lot. So guys have it actually a lot easier over girls. Girls' clothing has darts and they have pleats and they have all sorts of little intricate things that need to be taken care of. For me, I start with the back side of my collar, the unseen part of the collar up. Lay that down, and you just want to go over that until that's nice and smooth, maybe once or twice. And then I flip it, and I do the same thing to the outside of the collar, the side that you'll see. Next, I do the sleeves. Brand new shirt, I didn't even unbutton it. So let's unbutton the cuffs. Again, you're going to start with that inside piece first. Iron it to get the wrinkles out. Go over the outer edge. And then what you want to do is get the sleeve down. Make sure that the bottom seam is straight facing you. Make sure that there are no wrinkles in that sleeve. Smooth it out as best as you can. And then I usually start at the shoulder point and work my way down. And I don't want the iron too hot. I don't want to scorch the material. You just want it hot enough that the steam is coming out. One sleeve. I'm going to do the next one. And again, I find that if the TV's on, it's a little bit more interesting. Obviously, since I'm doing this tutorial, I'm not going to have it on. But again, you just want it to lay nice and smooth and flat. You're getting out any of those wrinkles. A lot of shirts now are no-press shirts. I will tell you that I still do them. I do them once a week. I normally do it on one of my free nights when I have TV on that I like. Again, you're just going to lay that arm down, smooth it out. And again, I always just start up here and work my way down, making sure that everything is nice and smooth and flat, no wrinkles. Then when you get to the body, which is why I wanted the rounded part up, I always start with the button side up towards me, and I kind of put that top part in here into where the shoulder goes. So you're going to give it actually the body that it deserves. And as I said, most shirts nowadays are wrinkle-free, so I find that just running it over to get the wrinkles out helps. A lot of times, though, I try and get my wash out of the dryer before it's completely done. So move to the back point. Now, this shirt actually has a dart right here. So I'm going to go right into that dart part and work out from it. I want that dark part to be smooth. I don't want any funky puckering. Next, I'm going to do the upper part, which is called the yoke of your shirt. And then you're just going to move the shirt along the ironing board. The part that wasn't ironed should be the part that's up there. And you just want to work the wrinkles out of it. You can either go back and forth or up and down. Sometimes you have to do a combination of both to get them out. We're to the last shoulder. Again, fit it into that part. See where your crease or your dart is. Go into the dart part and work your way down from there. There was a little bit that didn't get ironed, so we're going to work our way over from that. Finish up the yoke part there. And we're just going to put the side that has the buttons in here. Again, fitting the shoulder into that rounded part of the ironing board. And then I always make sure to get back into where the button plaque is. And to get to the very top, you're going to have to move, again, the collar so it's right along the top there. And really, ironing is just that simple. Now, for a pair of chinos, I still want the iron to be a little bit hotter than if I'm doing a pair of dress slacks. If there's a higher polyester count in there or a synthetic fabric, you're going to want to turn it down lower because it can actually scorch it. So here are just a pair of chinos. And I always like to go through and make sure that all of the pockets are tucked in and down. You want to make sure that they're laying flat when you put them on. And I, again, pull it right over that rounded part. Pull it up as far as I can. Make sure the pocket is flattened. And I just iron up and through here. I'm going to turn the iron, or turn the pant, I'm sorry. Iron the flat part because you don't want any funny creases on your back side. Slip it off so you can get the other side on there properly. Make sure the pocket is flat. And again, chinos are pretty heavy, which is why the heat can be a little bit higher. They also tend to iron a little bit easier. Flatten that front pocket again. And you just want your front to be nice and smooth. Obviously, if you have pleats in the front of your pants or your chinos, you want to make sure that you iron them into and then flatten the creases, the pleats, so they look proper. What I do from here then is I just make sure that the seam on both of them line up with one another. Give it a little bit of a flatten. And I always start with the legs. Again, make sure that it's flattened. Make sure that you're not going to iron any wrinkles in. Let me move my ironing board just down a little bit. And just go through. And I always think pants look nice when there's a little bit of a crease to them. I think that looks a little bit dressier. the next leg down. And I just try and make sure that I'm going up as high as the fronts were on the rounded part here of the ironing board. And it's that simple. And again, I think a huge tip is to get your clothing out of the dryer before they're completely dry. That's when I think the wrinkles tend to set in. Now, like I said, if I were to do these pants, which are a blended material, I would turn down the heat of the iron to where it's not so hot. Hey folks, this has been Joe from Style by Joe with a style solution, Ironing 101. Style by Joe, by now, of course, is the YouTube channel that you have subscribed to. It's also my Instagram. Style You by Joe is my Facebook, my Gmail, and my Twitter. Folks, stay stylish. I will tell you, doing your own ironing is way cheaper than going to a dry cleaner. And again, you have a night of TV that you want to watch, set up the ironing board, go right in front of it, and go to town. Folks, stay stylish, look clean and pressed, and I'll talk to you soon.